What's up, Deckheads? Welcome back to MTG with me. Got another unboxing for you today. Got a fat pack and a small booster box because they don't sell them in any size bigger than this. For the Aftermath, that's the Epilogue 2 March of the Machine. So we'll see what's going on in here. And real quick, let's just check the back. We got the dice. The promo card is Spark Rupture, so that'll be cool. Also comes with a little box to put cards in, so definitely won't be short on those. I'm not entirely sure how many packs are in here, but I'll make sure to count that and let you know. As always, if you've been watching these videos, I'm going to be using Mythic Spoiler as the website, so if I find something that I think is important to note, I'll pull it up on the website so you can see it on the right, and I'll lay the other cards on the mat on the screen right here. Cool. Alright, so I think first we'll do the fat pack. I do collect the dice, so it's always good to have those. No artwork in there. Actually, maybe. Never mind. We do have a little bit of artwork here. That's cool. And now these packs, if I'm correct, are much smaller. I don't think that they have as many cards in them. Yeah, these are very thin packs. Still the 8 packs that you get. There's 5 cards in each one. We got the foil lands with the promo and then the non-foil lands. Some more light in here. So that is the foil Spark Rupture. Very cool. When Spark Rupture enters the battlefield, draw a card. This is for 3, 2 colorless and 1 plains. Each planeswalker with 1 or more loyalty counters on it loses all abilities and is a creature with power and toughness equal to the counters they have on them. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if a lot of people will use that. It is an enchantment though. So there was kind of a popular planeswalker deck that people were using, so perhaps, but I don't think it's going to be as popular. And then, there's a roll down. Oh, that's cool. Buy the fat pack just for this. It's like a cosmic kind of color. Roll down. Slightly transparent. I don't know if you can see it that well. But that is cool. I like that. Gold writing too. Heck yeah. Alright. Let's start cracking these packs open. Alright, put those up at the top. Alright, so it starts off with Animus Might, 2 colorless, 1 forest, spell cost 2 less to cast if it targets a legendary creature you control. Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. I think that has some use. Too bad it's a sorcery speed. If it was instant speed though, you would see a lot of the decks that use like, can't remember, it's a vampire or something, Thrill Seeker, and it gives backup 2, and for 1 with the backup, you can sack that creature, deals damage equal to its power. So imagine swinging in, hitting this, and then like a mid to late game turn, then they sack and deal damage equal to its power. And some creatures also do that themselves, so that would just be game right there. So, I mean, that's a powerful card. Feast of the Victorious Dead. I've seen this in some of the decks in Diamond. At the beginning of your end step, if 1 or more creatures die this turn, you gain that much life and distribute that many +1/+1 counters among creatures you control. So if you have like a Orzhov token deck, that would be useful. That's cool. Hey, there's the promo. This guy, Nashi Moon's Legacy. This is Swamp Forest Island, Menace, and Ward 1. It's a 3/4 for 3, so that's pretty good already. When it attacks, exile up to 1 target legendary or rat card from your graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy. So that's kind of cool. So that's a rare already in 1 pack. We got a foil. Nice. Okay, cool. Check this out. Danitha New Benalius Light. 1 colorless, 1 forest, 1 plains. It's a Vigilance Trample lifelink. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an aura or equipment spell from your graveyard. There's a lot of graveyard stuff going on, so people are milling you, people are making you discard cards. I think that's very useful. That's awesome. Coppercoat Vanguard alt artwork. This card I think is going to be used in a lot of decks. I've seen it in a good amount of them already. Each other human you control gets +1/+0 and has ward 1. It's not a legendary, so that's pretty useful as well. Nice. Alright, I'm going to pull up Zenitha. Alright. That's pretty good. The other one is, let me just jump to that real quick, because that's also worth noting. Coppercoat Vanguard is the regular artwork. I have the alt artwork. Each other human, +1/+0, has ward 1. It's 2/2 for 2, so past the vanilla test. I think overall that's a good card. Go back up to Danitha. Solid card, and we got a foil. That's what's up. First pack, I think we did alright there. I'm not sure if they all have 2 rares, but if they do, that would be awesome. I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence about getting these packs, so hopefully they have good value. There's only 50 cards in the set, so if each pack is 5 cards, you've got pretty good odds. I mean, technically there's a chance in a fat pack that you could almost open all of them, but... Alright, here we go. Harnessed Stubborn, 4-drop, 2/5. Vigilance. Whenever Harnessed Stubborn deals combat damage to a player, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's a cool uncommon. Death Rattle Oni, 7-drop. 5/4 flash, 2 less for each creature that died this turn. Enters the battlefield, destroy all other creatures that were dealt damage. There's probably some value, but that's not going to get played. Chemist Royal Funeral, this will get played. Enters the battlefield, exile 2 target legendary creature cards from your graveyard, draw X cards, and lose X life, where X is the greatest mana value among cards exiled this way. There's a very strong legendary deck, and I have a feeling they'll absolutely use that. Legendary spells cost 1 less to cast for each card exiled with this, so, I mean, making things cost at least 2 cheaper. I think it says up to 2, yeah, so you're going to make your spells up to 2 cheaper, draw cards, gain life. That's nuts. Like, people are gonna play that for sure. Let me pull that up too. Ooh, we got a foil filter out. This is kind of cool. This is return all non-creature, non-land permanents to their owner's hand at instant speed. 1 colorless, 2 island. I feel like people are going to find a way to use that. It's a very strong balance mechanic. There's a lot of people playing decks that'll cheat things from the graveyard. Granted, some of them have ETBs, so this wouldn't help you there, but at least it'll help you stall, kind of get away from token decks, that kind of stuff. That's cool. And then Feast of the Victorious Dead. This is kind of a cool Orzhov cheap enchantment. 2-drop, at the beginning of your end step. If one or more creatures die this turn, gain that much life, distribute the +1/+1 counters. We just talked about that. I think this is alt artwork. Yeah, so you can see the 2 different types there. That's cool. Filter out, we just talked about that one. Blot out, target opponent exiles a creature or planeswalker they control with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers. That's kind of cool. Another Danitha, nice. Campus Renovation. This is, I mean, it's foil, so that's cool, but not very playable. It's a 5-drop return up to 1 target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Exile top 2 cards of your library. Play until the end of turn. Not until the end of the next turn. If it was until the end of the next turn, you might be able to play it. But this is, I don't think you're going to play this. And Animus Might. Spell cost 2 less cast. Targets a legendary. Deals. Oh, so this is just like the Animus Might that we have, but they threw like an old artwork on it. So that's cool. Make sure that I can see. I like that. I like how they're doing all this extra artwork. A lot of people aren't a fan of that, but I think it's better because it gives people options as opposed to not having options. I don't know about you, but I'd rather have options. Ooh, I forgot to put Denitha. We got another one. That's cool. Reckless Handling, 2-drop, 1 mountain, 1 colorless. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle, discard a card at random. If an artifact was discarded this way, deals 2 damage to each opponent. It's kind of cool, not really. Goldforge, Thopteryx, Azurius, 1/3, flying, lifelink, legendary permanent you control as Ward 2. You might see that in the legendary deck, but I doubt it. It's not that great. There's plenty of stuff that'll get rid of it too. Plarg and Nasari. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. An opponent chooses a non-land card. You may cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. So that's kind of cool. 5-drop for a 5/4 that does that. That seems valuable. I'll pull it up just so you can see. It's kind of neat. Let's see. So Plarg. Oh, we got 2 foils. Oh, that's cool. All right, so this one that you're about to see, this is definitely going to be in a dragon deck. Somebody is going to make a dragon deck around this. Well, not around it, but with it for sure. It's a 3-drop, 1 mountain, 2 colorless for a 3/2. So it doesn't pass the vanilla, but it's haste. When it attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a dragon card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order, or in a random order. So that's a huge positive, right? You play it, you swing, you get a dragon in your hand. Invasion of Tarkir, like the value is very strong right now with what else is in this set. I can't wait to see what people do with this. So even though that's an uncommon, I'm going to put that up here. In fact, let me pull it up because I know that that's worth talking about. Very strong uncommon. And then we've got Tolarian Contempt. This is a 5-drop. There's a lot on there. Basically, when it enters, you put a rejection counter on all of your opponent's creatures. At the beginning of the end step, for each opponent, I get to choose one of the creatures at a time. So probably in Commander, this would be pretty fun to play with. But each creature that has that at the end of the turn, so I play it at the end of the turn, I pick which one I want them to put either, is it second from the top? Puts it on top or the bottom of their library. So that's going to be really annoying for somebody that has a board state that's looking to draw something. It just kind of stops them from doing that. They could just keep pitching the stuff to the bottom, but they're in that sense they're slowly losing their board state. So that's pretty cool too. I'm going to put that up here as well. Some good foils. Actually, let me put that up too. Pretty solid card, I think. 5-drop's a little heavy, but I think you might actually be able to use that. Undercity Upheaval. Forest. 1 colorless, undergrowth, distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. As you cast the spell, creatures you control gain vigilance till end of turn. So with as much graveyard presence that there is with the set, I think that might be playable. Not amazing, but playable. Campus renovation, we talked about that. Oh, nice. Okay, so we got Metropolis Reformer, Flying, Vigilance. You get Hexproof, and whenever it's dealt damage, you gain that much life. So it's a 3-drop, 2/3 Flying Vigilance. So if you have a way to keep this indestructible on the board, that's a very strong card. Let me pull that up. That is a solid card. Definitely going to move that to the side. We got a foil Mark of Baron, 3-drop, 2/2. 1 swamp, 2 colors, convoke lifelink. Other vampires get +1/+1. And it's got a madness cost for the same CMC. If you've got a vampire deck, that might be worth looking into. See if I got some more light in here. Pretty cool. And then we've got another blot out, but alternate artwork. Cool. Actually, since we've got... we might be able to fit that on one screen. I'll go ahead and open up the next one. Coppercoat Vanguard, talked about him. I have a feeling we're basically going to breeze through most of these cards because there's only 50 in this small set that they have printed out. Tolarian Contempt, Tranquil Frillback. This one's weird. 3-drop, enters the battlefield. You can pay force up to 3 times, and however many more times you pay that, you get to do that many more of those options. So for 3, it's just a 3/3. But for 4, it's that plus one of those options. For 5, it's that plus 2. Let me pull that up so you can have a better understanding. And then we have a foil, Feast of the Victorious Dead. So now we have all of the artworks of that, I believe. So that's kind of cool. Campus renovation, we talked about that. Just some cool alternate artwork. Elemental token. That's cool. Mark of Baron, we talked about him. Talked about Colgan the Warmonger. I'll just put him underneath because I'm going to set those aside. We have Kiora, Sovereign of the Deep. Let me pull that up. That's pretty good card. So Simic card with 3 colorless, Vigilance, Ward 3 whenever you cast it, or whenever you cast a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent spell from your hand, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the spell's CMC or mana value. You may cast, well actually it's not CMC or mana value, it's mana value. So if you have a card that has X in the cost, so let's say, like for example, Fireball is Mountain and X. The CMC of that card is 1. But if I cast it for 2 as X equals 2, the mana value is 3. So I hope that makes sense. But whenever I'm not sure if there's any Krakens, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpents with X in the CMC, but that could change what the mana value is. You may cast a spell with mana value less than X from among them without paying its mana cost. So that's pretty cool. put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Somebody's going to do something with that for sure. Foil harness snubber, that looks cool. I like it. Shiny, very shiny. Oh, what? Oh, we got Sigarda, and it's an alternate artwork. Yo, oh man, that's the one I wanted. This one is already being used in standard easily. It's a 4-drop 4/4 flying. Other permanents you control have hexproof. You can look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can cast angel spells and human spells from the top of your library. There's definitely going to be a deck that uses this, and that is so cool. Look at that artwork. That's what's up. Yo. This is a good fat pack. Cosmic Rebirth. It's Selesnya and 1 colorless. Choose target permanent card in your graveyard. If it's 3 or less CMC, you may put it on the battlefield. If you don't put it on the battlefield, put it in your hand. So either way, you've got some value there, and you gain 3 life. That's pretty good uncommon. I think somebody will use that. Instant speed for sure. Animus Smite, we talked about that. Ooh, PNLR, Council of Revival. It's a Boros 2/3. Thopters have haste. Whenever you play a land card from exile or cast a spell from exile, create a 1/1 Thopter with flying. That's pretty cool. I don't think it's amazing, but somebody might do something with it. Where is that? Could have sworn it was right. Oh, there it is. That's cool. We got a foil Animus Smite. Talked about that one. Reckless Handling. Talked about that. This is just alternate artwork. Very cool. Alright, so for the fat pack, that is it. I'll go ahead and Spark Rupture there as well. What cards do you think are the best in this set? Personally, you already know. Sigarda, I think that's going to be one of the best ones. Calyx is another great one. We didn't get a Calyx here, but that's definitely one that's going to be in the top of the list. Danitha, I think there's going to be like a, I don't want to say an equipment deck per se, but I feel like the sets are kind of working in that direction. So we just had another sword printed. Somebody's going to do something with that for sure. The Kolagon Warmonger, that's definitely going to be in a set or in a deck for sure. Metropolis Reformer, that's another great one. My favorite, Sigarda alt artwork makes it even better. I'll go ahead and show that some more. That's so good. And that's not a glare, that's the way they drew it. It's like a glare in the card. And then if I had to pick a second one, Metropolis Reformer. That one's all, they're probably going to work together because they're angels, so you'd be able to pull that out, give hexproof to yourself, which will stop burn decks from hitting you. A lot of the mono black decks, though, it says each player sacks a creature, so you're not going to get around that too much. But that's really good. I think there's some good pulls for a fat pack. That's awesome. All right. Well, we got a lot more to go with the booster box here. So I will clear this off. So it looks like each pack you're going to get 2 rares. That to me is pretty strong. And I don't think we saw hardly any commons. So, I mean, if you're thinking about getting these packs, I recommend it. There is, it's a small list, but it's not that bad of a list in all honesty. All right, let me move these over to the side. Cool. And we're going to crack this open. I hope there's a decent amount of packs in here. I think there are. Oh. Some artwork. Sigarda. Yo. Love it already. That's what's up. And in here, got one more down there. So there's 2 stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 24 packs in one of these booster boxes. That's not bad. Especially with each one of them having, looks like 2 rares on each one. So we'll start cracking these open. Let me get this out of here. Undercity Upheaval, we talked about that. Campus Renovation, talked about that. Draneth Ruins, this is the land in the set. It's tap, add a colorless for 2 tap, put 2+1/+1 counters on target non-human creature that entered the battlefield this turn. I think that'll help you with Botanical Brawler if you're doing like a Selesnya kind of thing. That might be really useful. But, I mean, hey, utility lands are always good. And we got a foil Niv Mizzet. Supreme. This is Wooburg. That looks really nice. I'll pull that up just so you can see. It's got flying hexproof from monocolored. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard that's exactly 2 colors has Jumpstart. What that is, you may cast that card from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its other cost. Then you exile the card that you jump-started. That's cool. Let me pull that up. And then we've got a Filter Out. That's the card that I talked about earlier, but a little bit alt artwork there for you. These packs are good. Go ahead and move this out of the way. So off to an amazing start, I'd say. That's actually really good. The foils, the alt artwork. Whew. Another Markov, we talked about him. Vampire deck kind of deal. Coppercoat Vanguard. Spark Rupture, this is the promo, but the regular artwork. So the enchantment for 3 basically nerfs Planeswalkers. Reckless Handling, but a foil version of the regular artwork. That's cool. Coppercoat Vanguard alternate artwork. Nice. So we only got one rare in this pack. So I guess it's not always 2. But we definitely had 2 in like all of those. So that's neat. Tolarian Contempt, 5-drop, talked about that. Ooh, Colgan, set that aside. This one we didn't talk about yet, but Urborg Scavengers is a 3-drop 2/2. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile a card from the graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It has flying as long as you've exiled a card with that. It has first strike if you've exiled a card with that. Same for double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, trample, and vigilance. So this thing could be pretty strong. For a 3-drop, one specific swamp, you could use that in a lot of different decks. I think we'll see this for sure. Let me pull that up. That one we'll definitely see. Ooh, and a foil Cosmic Rebirth. This is that 3-drop instant. Pull a 3-drop from your graveyard. Well, it's target permanent card, I should say. If it's 3 or less, you get to put it on the battlefield. If you don't, if it's more than 3, you just put it in your hand. Gain 3 life. Very strong. And another Sigarda. What? Oh, that's so cool. Alternate artwork as well. I got 2 of them. Yo, that's what's up. That is so cool. Oh, man. Cosmic Rebirth, just talked about that. Animus Might. Nahiri's Resolve. This is kind of cool. So it's a 5-drop, Boros, and 3 colorless. It's an enchantment that gives your creatures haste, +1/+0, but at the end of your turn, you can exile any number of non-token artifacts or creatures, and then they come back the next turn. So if you've got some ETBs, that kind of thing, that's kind of cool. It'll bring that back. If you're using the not the most recent Elish Norn, but the one before that, you get a lot of ETB action and like recurring ETBs. So that's kind of cool. I don't think it's as good as it could have been, but it seems good. I'll pull that up so you can follow. Then we got 2 foil cards. One is Blot Out. We talked about that. And then Open the Way. This is alternate artwork as well, kind of an old style there. 2 forest and X. Can't be greater than the number of players in the game. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X land cards. Put the land cards onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Probably see that in Commander. I think that'll get some use there. Because you'll notice it says land cards, not basic land. X land cards. So maybe that's something you want for your Commander deck. A lot of utility lands in that set, so something to note there. In fact, I'll put that up here because I think that's worth it. Oh, let's see. I think that's here. Is that? There it is. Open the Way. I think that one will definitely be used. Moving along, plenty of packs, and we've already got some good stuff. Death Rattle Oni, we talked about this one. Feast of the Victorious Dead, we talked about that one. Rebuild the City. Alright, so this is a swamp, mountain, forest, and 3 others. Choose target land to create 3 tokens that are copies of it, except they're 3/3 creatures in addition to their other types. They have Vigilance and Menace. Sorcery speed, 6-drop. I don't think this is going to be played. I don't think it'll be played at all. Coppercoat Vanguard, but foil. That's cool. What? We got an alternate artwork Narset? This is another one that I wanted. Oh, let me pull it up. Oh, that's so good. That's awesome. I think people are sleeping on this card. It's a 4-drop for American in 1 colorless or Jessica in 1 colorless, whatever you prefer. Creatures you control have prowess. That's 3/4. Whenever Narset Enlightened Exile attacks, so every time it attacks, exile target non-creature, non-land card with mana value less than Narset's power from a graveyard and copy it from a graveyard. So when you play it for turn 4, swing turn 5, you're going to exile a card with CMC 3 or less. Copy it without paying its mana cost. Now, if you have a way to boost it up, there's plenty of red cards that do that. Plenty of white enchantment cards that do that. And, I mean, as we just saw, Coppercoat Vanguard makes it a 4/4 with Ward 1. There's plenty of stuff you can do to beef that up and make that useful. So I think that'll definitely be good. It's also giving every creature you control have prowess. So use this with Monastery Mentor, the Coppercoat Vanguard, and you've already got a deck right there, basically. That's so good. Harness Snowburn, we talked about that. Filter out. Oh, what? Back to back Narsets? Yo, love that. I'll leave that one up. That's what we just pulled. Undercity Upheaval, foil though. Alternate artwork, Feast to the Victorious Dead. That's cool. Dang, alright, so I got 2 Sigardas and 2 Narsets already? That's what's up. Reckless Handling, talked about that. Gold Forge, Leyline Immersion. Okay, so, and a foil Karn? What? Alright, okay, hold on, let's go one at a time. Leyline Immersion is a 4-drop, 1 forest, 3 others. Enchant legendary creature. Enchanted creature has ward 2 and add 5 mana in any combination of colors. Spend it only to cast spells. That's, I mean, that legacy deck, or not the legacy, the legendary deck that I was talking about, they should have this as well. Just because that's going to get them all the mana they need to keep doing what they're doing. It's only a 4-drop. Most of the ramp they have in their deck to get the colors that they need is through green mana. So you're kind of already leaning in that direction. I think that you're definitely going to see that. Foil Karn. Oh, we'll pull it up. So this is an artifact card for sure. Its power and toughness depends on the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. So if you play it for a 5, if you just have this on the battlefield, it's a 5/5. At the beginning of your upkeep, add colorless mana for each artifact you control. Can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells, and until end of turn you don't lose mana as steps and phases end. So that's so good. Tolarian Contempt. This is another foil one. It's an honorable mention for sure, so I'm going to put it in this pile over here that I'm going to keep. Actually, let me move this. This one is... Oh, no, that is a rare. We'll leave that. Alright, so those are all rares and mythic rares. Moving along, but wow. These are some nasty pulls. Like I said, the set's not very huge, so you're kind of limited. That might be why we're getting so many good foils. Undercity Upheaval, Sigarda, but the regular artwork, yo. I don't think I need to pull that up if you've been watching. That's whoo. Animus Might, foil filter out, cool stuff. Yo. that's what's up. One more Sigarda and I got a playset. And we got plenty of packs. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. Markup Baron. We've seen that plenty of times. Campus Renovation. Arnie Metalbrow. Free drop 3/3. When a creature you control attacks or a creature enters the battlefield under your control attacking. So it has to be entering and attacking. You may pay 1 colorless and 1 mountain. If you do, you may put a creature card with mana value less than that creature's mana value from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. So I think the way you would want to play this is if maybe like mid to late game, you put this out, and then whenever a creature you control attacks or a creature enters the battlefield under your control attacking, so then you swing with the one you have that's already on the board state, pay the 2, put 1 out in your hand, it's tapped and attacking. You can do it again, you can do it again, you can do it again. So that's kind of cool. Let me pull that up so you can read it. Now, this kind of card requires so much for it to be effective. I don't think people are going to play it, but it's a cool aspect. You might find somebody who wants to play it and that has a good, unique way of doing it, but for now, I don't think people are going to play it. Blot out and foil campus renovation. That's cool. All right, so of the 12 packs on that side, we've got 3 more. So in the first 9 packs, that's what we have. I'll try to see if I can make room to fit the others. Let's see. Oh. Do this. Think you can still see that? Yeah. Might have to buy a new binder after this. Coppercoat Vanguard, we talked about that. Tolarian Contempt. Alright, so Defecation. This is 1 plains, 1 colorless. As it enters the battlefield, choose a Planeswalker type. Planeswalkers of the you control of the chosen type have hexproof. As long as you control a creature, if damage dealt to the Planeswalker you control would remove it. Basically, remove all but 1. So that's, it's kind of cool. Keeps a Planeswalker alive. It's an enchantment that maybe somebody's not going to waste removal on because it's so specific. You might have something might have some cool deck thing to do with that. I don't think people are going to play it, but it's a cool mechanic. Another Markov Baron. Foil, though. So let me pull up that other one so you can read it. I'm not sure if anybody's going to use that, but you could. Kolgon. All right, so we just got 4 of those. That'll be cool. All right, let's see. Cosmic Rebirth. Another Niv Mizzet. Another foil Warmonger. Yo. Say less. Animus Might, talked about that. Feast of the Victorious, we talked about that. Vesuvian Drifter, nice. Feast, we talked about that. Alright, so I'm going to pull up Vesuvian Drifter. I think this is going to be a strong one. Alright, so the reason I think this is going to be a strong one is not only is it's a 3-drop 2/4 flyer, so at face value that looks pretty good. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. That's always strong to know where you're going next. And at the beginning of each combat, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, Vesuvian Drifter becomes a copy of that card until end of turn, except it has flying. Tell me you wouldn't play that card. Go ahead and try. Yeah, I know you would play that card, because anybody in their right mind would play that card. Especially with what's in Standard right now, where everybody's trying to throw out like Atraxa, Itali, and all that stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Like, come on. How do you not play that? The Flying Itali, turn 4. Deal with it. That's, you know what I mean? Like, what? Late game, you show Itali and you've got enough mana, you flip it over, it's flying and infect for 11/11. Like, get out of here. What is that? You know what I mean? That's People are going to play that for sure. Plargan Nasari, we talked about this. 5-drop, 5/4. Beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles cards from the top of the library. Opponent chooses one, and you get to cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. So that's cool. Alright, this is the first half of the booster box, and I'm pretty certain we've got our value already. 2 Sigardas, 2 Narsets, 2 Niv-Mizzet, a foil Karn. One of the Niv-Mizzets is foil. I think that's really strong already. You already know I'm partial to Sigarda from the beginning of this video with the Fat Pack, but I think the Narset's going to be really good too. Also, shout out Vesuvian Drifter. That one is pretty confident that one's going to be up on the list of cards that people are playing. It's not a legendary, so I mean overall that's just stupid. You're gonna see a lot of that. I'm sure of it. What card do you think is the best of this group right here? Put it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Does help the channel. Fairly new player. My MTGA videos, it's all free to play. So I'm just pulling what I need through drafts and building what I can. Big Boros fan, you'll find that out. But yeah, let me know in the comments which one you think is the best. Tell me what kind of deck you're playing too. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. That's nuts. I'm so happy with those pulls. Lots of stuff from a lot of decks. Lots of things that a lot of decks are going to be using for sure. That's what's up. Oh my goodness. We got a foil Karn and a foil Niv. I'm happy with the Sigarda alone. All the other stuff is pretty bonus. That's so cool. All right, moving on to the second half. Death Rattle Oni, we talked about that. Harness Snubburn. Ob Nixilis Captive Kingpin. This is Rakdos and 2 others flying trample 4/3. Whenever 1 or more opponents each lose exactly 1 life, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. Exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. So I think this is good because there's a lot of cards for mono black that are like, you gain 1 life and your opponent loses 1 life. So you can lose exactly 1 life through loss of life or combat damage, which is 1 damage to a player. But because it specifically says each lose exactly 1 life, all those loss of life cards are going to help you. I think this will be playable. Let me go ahead and pull that up so you can see. Foil Snubburn and Tolarian Contempt. That's cool. All right, so we'll pull up Ob Nixilis. Let's see. There it is. Definitely playable, for sure. The toughness 3 I'm a little worried about because it puts it in lightning strike range, but I mean, every card can't be OP, so I certainly understand. Filter out, Reckless Handling. Ooh, Jurina Dauntless General. This is an Orzhov 2/2, so 2/2 for 2. Enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Very powerful right now. You would want to play that mid to late game just to guarantee it. But you can sack it and give humans you control hexproof and indestructible. Also powerful. Go ahead and pull that up. Cool little artwork for Harness Snubburn. Foil Animus Might. Very cool. Let me pull that one up. There she is. Alright, cool. Take a look at that one. We got a lot of this set already. Blot Out, we talked about that. Goldforge Thopteryx. Nice. Okay, Jolrael, Voice of Zalfir. This is a 3/3 for 4, Simic and 2 others, but at the beginning of combat on your turn, up to one target land you control becomes an XX green and blue bird creature with flying and haste until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So it's still a land, but the number of cards in your hand. So imagine this with Jin Gitaxis, the Blue Praetor, where it's giving you cards, you can play stuff. Like, I think you're going to see an awesome Simic deck with this in it. Oh, and a foil Leyline Immersion. This is the 2-drop Thopter. Also foil one of those, but not as cool as this. That's nuts. We talked about Leyline Immersion a good bit before, so I'm going to pull up Jolrael. That's pretty cool. I think. You tell me. You think people are gonna play that card? I think so. Undercity Upheaval, Campus Renovation, Open the Way. This is the one that fetches those lands. Tolarian Contempt foil. We got a lot of those. Death Rattle Oni. That's some better artwork for that card. 6-drop, 5/4, flash, 2 less for each creature that died this turn. Enters the battlefield, destroy all other creatures that were dealt damage. A little bit of a combat trick. Might be hard to play, but it's cool. Coppercoat Vanguard, that one's good. We talked about that. Tolarian Contempt. Okay, we got a new one. Tazri Stalwart Survivor, 3-drop, 3/3. Each creature has tap, add 1 mana of any of this creature's colors. Spend it only to activate an ability of a creature. Activate only if this creature has another activated ability. So, that's a lot. I don't think anybody's going to play it just already, but let's keep reading. For Wooburg, tap, mill 5 cards, put all creature cards with activated abilities that aren't mana abilities from among them milled cards into your hand. So even after all of that, you're milling cards on the chance to put them in your hand. Not even to the battlefield. Nobody's playing that card. Just because that card's so bad, let me pull it up. There it is. That's pass. Nobody's playing that card. Death Rattle Oni, Goldforge Thopteryx. This one's the original foil. So, that's kind of cool. Another Kolgan. Warmonger. Set that aside. We definitely got a playset of that. We definitely have a playset of Markov for sure. See that a lot. Oh, Nahiri. Forged in Fury. Nuts. Undercity Upheaval. Foil. Goldforge Thopteryx. Those are not that great. It's a 6-drop, 5/4 affinity for equipment. So it costs 1 less for each equipment that you have. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So that's kind of cool if you're playing off the top. Helps you there. And you may cast equipment spells this way without paying their mana cost. So equipment just flies off the top. Just keep laying it down. There's definitely going to be a lot of room for that card. Let's see. It's very specific, but I think people are going to play that for sure. Cosmic Rebirth, Animus Might. Arya's Oathsworn. This is 2-drop, 2/2, 1 swamp, 1 colorless. It's got Menace. Whenever it deals damage to your opponent, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When it's got exactly 4 counters on it, after it's done damage to an opponent, search a library for a card, put it in your hand, shuffle. You don't need to reveal it, just fetch it. So I think people are going to play that for sure. Let me pull that up. And then alternate artwork, Cosmic Rebirth. That's cool. Got about 5 packs left. Feast of the Victorious Dead, talked about that. Snubburn, Nashi, we talked about that. That was one of the first ones we got. Another foil Cosmic Rebirth. Yo, I think we got every version of that. And an alternate artwork of Darnith Ruins. That looks kind of cool. I like that. Look at that. Just look at it. Yo, we got some crazy pulls in this one. I'm a fan. Talked about that one. Alright, so Kenrith Royal Funeral. That one's definitely going to be played in the Legendary deck. Coppercoat Vanguard. Foil. Reckless Handling. Foil. Okay. Nothing too fancy there, but, I mean, it's definitely going to be played. Blot Out. Reckless Handling. Another Danitha. New Benalia's Light, 2/2 for 3, Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an aura equipment spell from your graveyard. That's sweet. Oh, look at that. Alternate artwork for Kolgan Warmonger. But real quick, let's go back to Danitha. That is definitely a smash. But look at that artwork. Yo. That's kind of cool. Put that over there. So we've got 3 Danitha now, one of them foil, 3 Sigarda, 2 Narset, 2 Niv-Mizzet, foil Karn. We've got so many good things. Goldforge Thopteryx, Undercity Upheaval, Plarg, and Asiri, and then a foil Training Grounds. Let me pull that up. This is kind of specific, but it's just one of those cards where I'm like, I think somebody's going to play this. I'm not sure how. Alright, so it's a 1-drop blue enchantment. Activated abilities for creatures you control cost 2 less to activate. This can't reduce it less than 1. But for 1, that's a good turn 1 for blue. So, I don't know how, but somebody's probably going to find a way to make that awesome. And filter out all alternate art. And we got one more pack. Campus Renovation. That's, we talked about that. Nothing too great there. Coppercoat Vanguard. Metropolis Reformer. That's another smash, for sure. Flying Vigilance, you have Hexproof. Whenever is dealt damage, you gain that much life. Somebody's going to do something with that for sure. Undercity Upheaval, foil, alternate artwork Markov. Cool. Alright. From this group right here, what are you looking at? What do you think's the best? I mean, of this group specifically, I know Obnixilis is going to be up there because somebody's going to do something with that. The way the card reads, whenever one or more opponent each lose exactly 1 life, so loss of life, it's not just takes 1 damage. That broadens it up a lot more. I think somebody's going to use that. Moreover, I think Joel Rael is going to be better. So Joel Rael, I would pick in this set here, probably will be played the most. I'm a Nahiri fan just because I like equipment decks. If you watch some of my older videos, you'll see why. But that's just because I'm partial to that. So I would put Nahiri and Danitha next to each other on what I like the most here. Actually, you know what? I'll put Metropolis Reformer above that, just because I think that that's a better utility, cheaper CMC, Flying Vigilance. You get Hexproof. I think you get more value from just this card alone, just being on the field, and a lot of decks can play that. So I'm going to say I think Metropolis is the one I like the most. The best one of the group is probably Joel Rael, just because, I mean, that's definitely gonna be good. You're gonna put that in a whole bunch of stuff. And then let's see. I mean, Leyline Immersion, that's gonna be for sure used in the legendary. I mean, and you know what? I think we're going back to Lorwyn soon in the storyline. So I think that you're gonna see a lot more cards like that become more useful. Definitely would hold on to those. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know which ones in the comments that you think are the best, and what decks you're using them for, what deck you think they would be good for. As far as the Fat Pack, totally worth it. If you just want, even not just for the dice, but if you just want to get a taste of this set, Fat Pack will do you fine. If you want to get high odds of getting the cards that you wanted, I really wanted Sigarda, so I bought one of these just in case. I think this is worth it too. There's another one that I didn't get, and it's like a collector's edition, but I normally don't get those because I don't know. To me, I feel like that's way too pricey for what you're looking to get. I mean, I don't need the best version of something, you know what I mean? But to get the cards that I wanted, I think this would have been fine. But the Fat Pack, I'm a sucker for those dice, man. So I bought one of each, and I'm very happy with those pulls. That's so awesome. Thanks for joining. I do appreciate it. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Really helps me grow in my channel here. And I hope you have a good one. Until next time, deckheads, keep it easy.